Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create a skill tree in Unreal Engine 5 with C++. So let's show you what we'll be making. So I'm going to click tab here. This is our skill tree. Currently on our skill tree we have 100 skill points to use. To buy the actual skill tree to start off, it costs 1 point. It says on both left and right here. So let's buy that. And now we have a red circle outline to say we have bought that skill point. So that skill point for the skill tree is unlocked. On the left we have health, which is level 1. You get a bonus of 10 HP and that costs 1 health point. For speed, we have level 1, it gives you 100 extra speed and costs 1 point. And we can buy these, and then it updates the UI here, and it'll update your health in game. So let's go through it fully, and then we have health max level reached. In speed, let's upgrade that fully. We only have 21 skill points. We've got it so we can unlock them all. This was for testing purposes. Let's go out of that, and now you'll notice the character runs super fast because we've upgraded the speed. The health would be able to UE log it if we want to see how much extra health we have. We have the standard 100. So yeah, that's what we're going to be creating in UE C++. So let's jump into a project. I'm going to create a project in third person template using C++. So I'll see you in a moment. Right, that's been created. I've called the project ST for skill tree. What we want to do now is go to C++ classes, ST, and I want to create an enum. So let's go to new C++ class, all classes, enum. Actually, let's create it as an object. Let's do next. And then we'll call this skills, because these are the skills we have, which are health and speed, and you can add plenty more if you'd like to. This project is fully modular and customizable. So let's create that. Perfect, that class has been created, so we don't need the U class. I'm going to get rid of that. And on skills CPP, I'm just going to click delete on it. I'm going to delete that file because we don't need it. So now in here, I want to create an enum for my different skill types. So new enum, got it there. It's going to be blueprint type, should always have it as blueprint type. Enum is going to be an enum class of E skill type. I'm going to have this in capital letters. And then U int 8, perfect. And what we want in these brackets just here is our types. So the first one's going to be called unlock skill tree. So it's the initial one we unlock. Then we need a U meta for it, and display name will be unlock skill tree. I'm going to put it all as one word. Perfect. Give some space there so we can see it. I'm going to duplicate that, and the next one's going to be health. Change that to health. Duplicate that again. This one's going to be speed, and then duplicate it one last time. It's going to be max, and this will just be hidden. Perfect. So that's the enum class created. I'm going to create a struct to get the type of enum, and we'll have loads of data for each type of health, speed, and the unlock skill tree, the data for it, sorry. So we need a U struct or blueprint type struct. This is going to be called F skill data. We want the data for the skill. And inside of here, but we need a generated body, and then we can put some stuff in. So we need to get the type of skill it is. So we'll do U property. This will be edit anywhere, blueprint read write, and that's perfect. So what we want to do here is get E skill type, and we'll have skill type equals, for example, E skill health, but it'll obviously get changed when we assign it. The next one we need is edit anywhere blueprint read write, but we also need a clamp in this because it's going to be the level. So meta equals brackets clamp min. I'm going to equal that to 0. We never want to go to below 0 your level. And this will be a int 32 level. Perfect. Oh, actually, we'll assign that to 0 straight away. Perfect. There we go. Then we want another one here. This is going to be the level bonus. Loads. So this is like level bonus will be how much extra you add on to like the speed and the health. That's the level bonus. We'll do a 0.0f. That's perfect. We want another U property there. This is going to be skill cost. That's going to be a float again. Skill cost. And we can just call it cost, can't we? Don't need to put skill cost because you know it's in the skill data. So just cost. That equals 0.f again. Perfect. And anywhere blueprint read write again. And this one's going to be a T object pointer. This is for U texture 2D. And this is going to be called icon. And equal this to a null pointer. So each type, like let's say health and speed, will have a different icon. So will the unlock skill tree as well. They'll all have different icons. I'm going to clean this up. There, I've cleaned that up, looks a little bit nicer. But that's all done for the skills, enum, and struct for the data. So now what we want to do is create a button. So let's go into Unreal Engine and create a button. Now in Unreal Engine, when we go to all C++ classes, ST for skill tree like we did before, new class, go all classes, let's type in user widget. We've got user widget next, and then we're going to call this skill button. I'm going to put this in a folder of UI so we know where it is. So in the path here at the end, just put UI and this will create a folder for you. Perfect, that class has been created. The first thing I want to do is declare a dynamic multicast delegate of one parameter. So one parameter just there. What we're going to call this is f on skill unlocked, and then comma, passing in u skill button. There's going to be a pointer, and this will have a comma for unlock skill. So passing new skill button of type, and then it'll be called unlock skill. I'm going to create a public section. In here we want to void init skill, so we'll initialize the skill, passing through a const. Forgot to do double L for skill there. And const f skill data we need to include the skills.h. Perfect. There's going to be a reference, and it's going to be called in data. Perfect. What we need next is a u property. This is going to be f on skill unlocked. It's going to be called on skill unlocked. So we're going in the class. Perfect. And it's going to be blueprint assignable if we need it. We don't use blueprint, but it's always good to have a blueprint assignable. And then what we need next is a protected section. Perfect, just there. In here we need a native construct. Perfect, that's done quick. Underneath this we need a u function, which I forgot to do at the one above. Control Z, Control V. And this will be void on skill clicked. Perfect. And we need another one. This is a u property, the next one, u property. And this is going to be a bool for skill acquired to see if we've acquired that skill. And that'll equal false. Perfect. Underneath we need another u property. And this is for f skill data. We'll call this skill data. And we need a private section now. There's a lot of code in this, I do apologize. In the private section we want a u property. It's going to have edit anywhere in it, and meta equals bind widget, and this is going to be called a t object pointer, sorry, of u button. We'll declare that, and it's be called b skill, and we want to copy and paste this underneath. We want to do this for our image, and then we need to forward declare that, and we'll call this I skill icon. As you can tell, the B is for button and the I is for image. So we just need to add a couple more functions at the top now. We've defined these functions. So the first one's going to be const f skill data reference get skill data. We need this for when we're using the actual skill tree UI, because this is only the button. So this is also going to be const again, and we're going to do return skill data. Perfect. Underneath we need bool. I'm going to call this is unlocked. There's going to be a const of return skill acquired. So we're checking if it's been acquired or not. Now one more function, we're going to do void set unlocked. And there's going to be a bool of b unlocked. Perfect. Let's create these functions. So native construct on skill acquired set unlocked. We want an initialize skill. So we've got them four, I've just highlighted them all and create them. I want native construct at the top. So in native construct, I want b underscore skill, and then we'll have on clicked dot add unique dynamic, we want this, and we'll pass through on skill click. That's perfect. Then in initialize skill, just initializing this button, we're gonna have skill data equals in data. These are really easy at the minute. In this set unlocked, we want skill acquired equals be unlocked. Perfect. And on skill click, one if skill acquired return. If it's not acquired, we can broadcast. So on skill unlocked dot broadcast, and we'll broadcast this. That's perfect. Now let's go and create that in Unreal Engine. So live coding now. Perfect. Live coding was complete. For this class, we do need an image. So I'm going to go to do the image first. So we go to gameicons.net. Type in plain circle icon, this will come up. It won't be this color, but what you need to do is go to background, change that to none, go to foreground, change the gradient to plain, and we want the gray color, and then we want to change the stroke to green and the width to 5, and then we don't need anything else. Size and preset I put to 512, and then we download as a PNG here, so I'll do that. I've already got one. So now what we want to do, go all content. I'm just going to create a new folder. I'm going to call this icons. Right, in icons, I'm going to go to my download, it's saved in there. I'm just going to drag it in, double click on it, open up here. What we want to do is change the texture group to UI and change the compression settings to user interface 2D. That's perfect. So now let's create the C++ class for the blueprint we're going to create now for the UI. Sorry, that made no sense. And I meant let's create the widget blueprint from the UI C++ class we just created. So create blueprint class. Put it in a folder. Let's right click here and put UI. This will be our UI folder. Click on it. There's going to be BP_skill button. Let's create that class. Perfect, it's been created. What we want first is an overlay. We didn't add this in the C++ because we don't really play around with it. Let's do custom on screen. I want 100 by 100. And then here on the overlay, we want a button. We want to fill this button to the screen. Let's change the appearance of the button to the style normal. So what's it called? Plain circle. 2. Let's copy, paste, paste, paste it on all of them. It looks perfect there. But we do need to change the name. So it's going to be called B_skill. Perfect. Compile and save. So that one's done. Now we need the image. We don't really have an image at the moment. That'll be coming in the second video. But for now, we'll just have nothing there. So what we'll do here is we'll call this I_skill icon, just like in C++. So that's the image done. Oh, I do need to change something with the image. It's got an outline, which I don't really like there. That needs to be 0. Need to change it on all of them. So if I just copy this class, it changes it for all of them. Copy, paste, paste, paste it in all of them. So that's perfect. This image right now, we'll put a random image. We'll put that in just for now. Perfect. So that is the button done. Now we need to create a UI that covers the player's screen, and we can add these buttons to that image. So let's go to all C++ classes, ST, right click, new C++ class, all classes, use a widget. Next, and we're going to call this skill tree. I'm going to put it in UI as well. Let's create that class. Perfect, that class has been created. What we want first is a public section. It's going to have one function in it. It's going to be a U function. Perfect. This will be void init skill tree st. It's going to take in a skill st character. And it's going to be a pointer. And call this character instance. Perfect. We need to forward declare the character. Just there. Perfect. Next, we need a protected section. In that protected section, we need a native construct. Then underneath that, we need void to initialize skills. It's going to be called init skills. It's going to take in t array of t object pointers of uSkill button. So forward declare that. There's going to be a reference of skills. Perfect. And then next one we need is eSkill type. Forward declare that. We call this type. Last parameter we're passing in is a const t array. There's going to be f string. There's going to be a reference called names. That's perfect there. I'll do a U function for that. There's a lot of functions and U properties to add in, so just bear with me. If you want to speed up the video, go ahead. That's fine. U function. This will be void on skill unlocked, and this will pass in uSkill button pointer called unlock skill. There we go, perfect. Next one is a U property of edit anywhere meta equals find widget. There's going to be a t object pointer of U text block. There we go, let's forward declare that as well. This is going to be called first skill. So this is the one to unlock the skill tree. Then after that, we need a t object pointer, a t array of t object pointer skill buttons. We're going to rob that, copy that there. Going to be U property, paste that there, and we're going to call this one help skills. Perfect. I'm just going to duplicate this whole thing, Control D, move it down, and call this speed skills. Perfect. And the last thing we need, because we're getting the character here, we want to initialize it in this class, so we've always got a reference to it. So we need a U property, so it's t object pointer a st character. I'm just going to call this character. Perfect, that's the header done. I shall initialize these functions. Right click, generate definitions. Okay, let me just put native construct at the top. First thing we want to do is initialize the F skill data, the first skill, which is the starting one. So what we're going to do here is F skill data, or data, and then underneath we need data dot skill type, and we'll equal that to each skill type. This one is unlock skill tree because it's the first one, and then data underneath, and this is going to be dot level, and this level is just going to be 0. It's always going to be 0. Data dot level bonus, initializing that to 0. F data for the next one dot icon, just equal to null pointer because we haven't sorted anything out for this yet, but we will. Data dot skill cost equals 1. So that's all the data done. Now what we can do for first skill init skill. I couldn't init skill my first skill if for some reason a text block I made a mistake there. So let me just change all this. We can just do paste here for that one. But we do need a text block anyway, so let's copy the U property. I missed one out, I just remembered. And this is the object pointer. And this will be U text block. Call this T skill points. That's perfect there. Let's go back to skill button. No, skill tree, first skill, and then it's init skill, passing in data. That's perfect there. Then underneath this, on first skill, we need to do on skill unlocked dot add dynamic. It should be. For some reason it doesn't like it then. A dynamic there, and then it'll be this, and on skill unlocked. That's perfect there. Now we want to initialize all the other ones. So I'll show you how to do the first one, and then I'll copy, or I'll speed the clip up or whatever. So we need initialize skill tree, and this is going to be brackets health skills, comma e skill type, and it's going to be health there, then comma, and then inside the brackets we need to do text, bracket again there, and this will be health skill 1. Perfect. And then we just need to do that again multiple times. So inside here again, comma, copy this, and then paste and change it to 2. So I'll speed this up. I'll see you in a moment. Right, you'll notice I've done something wrong there. It's not initialize skill tree, it's initialize skills. Perfect. I need to do it again for speed, so we'll speed this up again. Only enough. So see you in a moment. Change this to help speed skills, this to speed, and then change. You need this to be speed skill 1, and so on. So I'll see you in a moment. Now that's done, let's initialize skill tree. So for initialize skill tree, we want character equals character instance. Perfect, that's easy done. Now to initialize skills, we need to do a for int 32, I equals 0, and skills, we need names.num. Perfect, and I++, and then inside of here, we need use skill button just there, and we're going to do pointer skill, I'm going to call it, and then equals cast to use skill button, and then we're going to do get widget from name, that's in a pointer to names, just like that. That's perfect. Underneath here we need to check if it's valid, so is valid, so not valid. So if it's not valid, then we just want to continue on to the next one. Is valid doesn't work for a moment, is valid. There we go. And we basically want what we have up top here. Just copy and paste this in, but we will be changing it. So copy and paste that there. So we need the F skill data, forgot about that bit. And then skill type will be equals type. As you can tell, we passed it in here with E skill type health. Then the level will be I+1, sorry, ignore me, saying 0. Level bonus will be I+1 as well. I+1. Data icon is null pointer still at this moment in time, and skill and the cost of the skill is I+1 again. And then we want to do initialize data, but we want it for the passed in skill. So I've just copied and pasted there, took off first, and we can copy and paste this bit again. It's just because we have to initialize the first one to unlock these, that's why I've done it in this order, otherwise I'm going to put this inside of there. So lastly we want skills dot add skill. Perfect. And then just on skill unlocked, we'll do if is valid unlock skill, then we want to return, it's also done it for us perfectly, else unlock skill set unlocked. and we'll pass in true. That's perfect. Let's create this class in Unreal Engine. Live code, and let's create it. Perfect, live code is complete. UI, skill tree. Let's create blueprint class. It's going to be BP underscore skill tree. Put it in UI just here. That's perfect. So we've got loads to do on this. What we want first, we'll have an overlay again. That's perfect, just there. Let's change that to 1920 by 1080. Just pull it down. We want to have a nice little border like we did on the one I just created. Let's fill it. Let's put some padding of 15 on all of them. Now 25. For brush color, we want that to be grey. Just like that. Brush, we're going to have it as rounded box. An outline settings, we want fixed radius. Put a corner radius of about 30 on. No, we need about 100 actually. Make a significant difference there. 100, 100, 100. Outline, the alpha's up to 0. We need that 1. We want it like nice, maybe 10. So we can notice it. Yeah, that looks perfect. Inside of here, we want some text. The overlay, so we want it at the center. And we want it at the top. Give it top padding of about 40, 80, sorry. These are just rough estimates I'm creating. And we want the size to be 72. That looks perfect. I'm going to call this skill tree. Put an outline on this as well. Outline colors black. Outline size can be 3. I think that looks perfect there. I'm going to duplicate that, and we're going to move it to the right over here. And we want the padding from the right to be about 40. Oh, actually, no, 60. And this can be skill points. And equal 0. Need to change the size of this, maybe 52. That's perfect there. Changing that to 90 dead quick. We want it to come from the left, perfect. I'm going to have to add a bit more padding. Let's say 120, not there. Well, that 90 and this at 80. I think we have it about 42 actually. Perfect, that looks perfect there. So now we need to do the fun job of adding all these buttons, and they've got to be called exactly the same name. Health skill 1, health skill 2, health skill 3, health skill 4, health skill 5. So these buttons are for my use skill button. So if you type in on the palette, use skill button or skill button, it might just come up like that. Yeah, let's drag it in. Right, we need a canvas panel, sorry. Need to wrap that with a canvas panel. Fill the screen with that. And the offset at the bottom right needs to be 0. Perfect, sorry about that. And all these buttons I'm going to put on the canvas panel. Size is 100 by 100. Wrong one, not that button, we need skill button. So it's BP skill button. Right, skill tree, I double clicked on it to open it for me, canvas panel here. And these need to be 100 by 100. So this one can be called first skill. So that is the first one. And what we're going to do now is name it the same as we've got in C++. So I will speed this up. So I'll see you in a moment. Perfect, that is done. I've had to quit out because that did take a lot longer than expected. It's very repetitive and annoying. But you've got speed skill 1, speed skill 2, speed skill 3, speed skill 4, 5. These are all alignment 0.05. I forgot to mention that I put it on that. This is first skill. And we also need to change the name of skill points to T for text. And it's going to be called skill points. Perfect, that took a lot longer than expected. I have changed the alignment on all these to 0.5. And I've just copied over the position X. Like the left one is a minus, this is a plus, because our center is there. And made sure I've got the same Y, so they're all in line for this tree. And there's one little trick you can do, I'll show you now, to make it look like they're connected. Here's what we'll do here. Make that a bit smaller, change the brush tint to, let's say, black, and we can connect these. And how we'll do this is pull them into the middle here. This may take a while, so I might have to cut out more stuff, but on transform, you can change the angle. So I'm going to do that now. I'll see you back in a moment. Perfect, that's done. The scale tree doesn't look the nicest. We can obviously polish it up in different ways. This is more about the functionality and it all works. So on scale points here, we need to change that text. So it'll be T_scale points. And that is everything for this video. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you have enjoyed and want to see the second part. If it's been a week since I uploaded this, the second part should be out, so go watch that. Yeah, make sure to leave me a comment saying you do enjoy it, and please subscribe to help make the channel grow. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.